Yo, we back with another vid. It's your boy. I'm gonna just show you three main strategies, like the most common strategies that people use to make money, and whichever one you find best fits you and like the way you like to play, you do the strategy. You feel me? It's always about you gotta come up with your own formula in a way. You know what I mean? You can use other people's strategy, but then you want to change it up. Use your own formula. You know what I mean? See what does best for you. So, I'm gonna just go over the three main strategies. It's gonna be a nice little quick video. I'm not gonna really drag it out too long. It's pretty simple. Alright. So we'll go on with trenching. We start with trenching. What is trenching and why do people trench, right? So trenching, for example, is when someone finds into a coin really, really early. They get in really, really early, and the coin, let's say, shoots up. Right, it goes to the moon. It goes high, and because they got in so early, they gain so much profit off of it. Now, trenching is not bad. Many people do trenching. I do it sometimes. You know what I mean? If someone gives me a good coin call out and I really like the coin, I'll put in some money to really see if it blasts off. But other than that, trenching is just basically you get in the coin early, and when it starts blasting, you get out. You know what I mean? You make your profits. You could hold a trench coin, like you could hold the coin for a long time. It really depends on the coin. Sometimes the coin could go all the way to migration and you'd be up crazy profits, or sometimes it just like goes up a decent amount and then it shoots back down and you just cash out before it shoots back down. Now, the way that the way that trenching works, right, is it's obviously new pairs because it's all the new coins that are coming out. You want to get on the coin early. Now, there's many different strategies that people use for new pairs. A lot of people just throw in money into whatever coin, like a couple dollars, and then you like see which one goes up and take the gamble. And if one of them shoots up out of like nowhere, they're still up money because like the profit off that one coin gain back the losses on the other coin. But that I don't really do. I don't really think it's the most strategic and consistent strategy. I feel like you could still lose money. There could be a day where you put into four coins and none of them blow up, and you basically get like rug pulled or like drained, which is just something you don't really want. And I'm gonna tell you what I look for when I'm doing during trenching. What I really look for is honestly, one thing I look for is if the dev has what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck, has a history. Like people know of this dev. You know what I mean? Now, one good sign I always look for is when the dev has a couple migrations under his belt. You know what I mean? Like the dev has done some work in the past that went up on charts. Like we click on this one, right? Let's see. All right, the volume for this doesn't look too bad, right? It looks like an organic chart. The dev has multiple migrations. We look at his tokens. Oh, on here, I know there's one migration. Oh no. Now, one thing I like to do real quick, and this is you get better over time when you check this during trenching. One thing you like to check out is he has 12 migrate. That's not bad. I mean, he makes a lot of coins. But one thing I like to look. Oh, sorry, I keep getting side distracted. One thing I like to look at is what the devs have made in the past. So you click on this. All right, this one didn't really work out. He sold on everybody. We checked this one that he made a couple minutes ago. Oh well, it looked like he just rugged this on everybody. Now it looks like he's kind of holding this, but I wouldn't really. I would be a little afraid, you know what I mean? Because clearly his last couple of ones that he made hour ago, 2 hours ago, they're all just going straight to the like down. It's really not the best and smartest move. Now this one could pick back up. Like right now, it's on a crazy low dip, and there's still 120 people in it, so you might be able to buy in and then make some profit if it shoots back up. But honestly, I would like to stay away from this coin. You know what I mean? And I didn't even get to get early when the volume was there. You know what I mean? If I got in, let's say, right around where Cupsy got in, you know what I mean? Which is not the best because like you don't want to buy when Cupsy buys in. But let's say if I got in right where Cupsy bought in, right? Early as fuck, pretty early. And I watched that shit shoot up to over here. Let me move this shit out the way. How can I close this shit? Close that shit, man. Alright, whatever. But if I watched it shoot up to here, I would have sold my profits right there, you know what I mean? That's a whole from, let's see, if I bought in, let's say if I bought in at like 31K, 30K, whatever, right? I should shot up all the way to 90K. That's, I think, triple times profit, double times profit. Yes, triple the profit, basically, right there. You would have tripled, which is good. And I would have just pulled out my little profit right there. I got in on that little pump, and boom. That's quick. That's a quick trench right there. You know what I mean? Got in early, got out before it dipped back down. Now it looks like it's gonna pick back up, like I said, because it has a lot of volume. So if you would have bought in right here and maybe played the waiting game a little bit, it could shoot back up. Now personally, I don't like playing the waiting game. I like shit with a lot of volume. But this one looks like it's actually cooking. I'm not gonna lie. Seems like it's going. And like I said, a lot of these guys right here, Cupsy, all of them, they're probably most likely putting in to this coin because this guy has history of making good coins. He has coins that migrate. You know what I mean? He has 12 migrated coins, and out of 2,000, I mean, it's not the best ratio, but he has some migrated coins, so it doesn't do bad. It means that his shit could shoot to migration. He has history of that shit happening, so that's not bad. I'm gonna show you just another coin. Damn, why is this coin is pumping so much though? Oh, this is a different one. Where'd it go? Oh, look at that. That shit went to migration. Oh, they launched it to migration. I didn't even notice that. This dump right here launched it to migration. Yeah, it's probably gonna go shoot back up. Damn, I should have bought it on that dip. Look at that, chat. If I bought it on that dip, I could have been up profits. It's whatever. But we go to another one. Dev migration. So one thing I look at a lot is that these crowns. These crowns means the dev has migration. I don't know if y'all put two and two together already, but that's what that means. So I like to go for ones that have this because I don't really like all these new devs. They be basically shitting on you. Like, I don't know about this one. Like he's holding 57%. I would not put into this shit at all, and he has no migrations. Like it doesn't look like that shit's gonna pump at all. So I like looking for, at least for new pairs, like trenching wise, I like looking for stuff that has the migration cap. Because if you see, look, a lot of these ones that have shot up, they have a lot of migrations. You know what I mean? They're a couple. Look right here. Even this guy, he has one migration right here. One migration before migration. This guy doesn't, but it's alright. 16 right here. You know what I mean? They have a history of stuff. Like this one that just came out. Alright, I'll look at it. $600,000 LSD tab. Now, he has two migrations. Let's see. Two, not bad, right? There's a couple bundlers. That's another thing you gotta look at real quick is bundlers. Bundlers are crazy on trenching. I wouldn't really put in because it's a little scary, you know what I mean? They can all just sell in your head real quick. Insiders looks pretty good. Looks like it's going down, honestly. And the volume looks like it's picking up, but the dev hasn't sold yet, so I'll be a little iffy about it. You know what I mean? Because the dev could just sell any second. Oh, look, the dev literally just sold as he speak. He sold all his percentage. So who knows? It might pick back up from here, or it might just die out because the people get scared. But yeah, I basically look for coins that like devs that have a history of making good coins and have migrations, and that's how I find which coin I should put in for trenching wise for like new pairs, because I wouldn't really want to put on a coin with a dev who's like known for scamming people. You know what I mean? That's dumb. Like, why would I put it on a coin that there's a dev that's known for scamming people and shit? Like, this is a wild, crazy jump. You know what I mean? After dev sold though, don't ever put in before dev like sells. After dev sold, that's why I had that crazy jump, because people saw he sold, it still has a little bit of volume. Some person just bought it with a crazy amount. Look at that. Wow, up profits right there. Know what I mean? That could have been up profits. Skirts, whatever. This is so goofy, but it's pumping though for some reason. You know what I mean? You see how after the dev sold, that's when people started putting money. Loki Cupsy's the one that's pumping this up crazy. I wouldn't really put in, because if Cupsy sells out, you're honestly cooked. But like I said, you do you. Whatever strategy works best for you. You just gotta be careful a little bit. Let's see what else. Now we go into final stretch. Final stretches is basically low-key when they have a little bit more volume than this over here. You know what I mean? They're about to push it to before migration. They're about to hit before migration. It's not bad either. Final stretches, it basically just falls into the line with trenching too. You know what I mean? You find in a coin decently early, not crazy early as new pairs, but it's decently early. You could probably get in before migration or some shit like that. Now the next thing I'm telling you is scalping. Scalping, right? It's another form of strategy. It's very different from trenching though. Scalping manages your risk very well. You know what I mean? You have a higher chance of making a little bit of money and losing less money. You know what I mean? You make little money, lose less money. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? With new pairs, it's high risk, high reward. So the fact that you're getting in so early could make you a lot of money, but the coin could also die out and you lose a lot of money. So it's high risk, high reward. That's how I put it. Scalping is a low risk, and not the it's like a low reward, but that can change depending on how much you put in. You know what I mean? If I'm going to a point 0.1 soul and I'm just scalping it and it only goes up, let's say 20%, 25%, 30%. I'm not making crazy profits, but I'm still gaining profits. And let's say if you do three different coins of 30% on each, right? You're up 30% on three different coins. You could be up what, a couple bucks, you know what I mean? And that's just what scalping is you're gaining a little profit and it's adding up little by little. So scalping I'd like to do is I would like to be on migrated, or final stretch works too. Final stretch is like right in the middle. But I would like to do for scalping, and mainly what I like to do is make sure the volume's up for the market. Because if the volume's not up, I would be a little careful. Because that just, scalping works best when there's a lot of volume. Because you're looking for a dip, and you're looking for the volume when people buys in back after that dip and shoots it up. So we'll just look, right? Okay, right here. Alright. This one, not really it. I wouldn't really put into it. It's low-key dying out. Not really a fan. It might pick back up. Usually these coins be shooting back up sometimes, but I wouldn't really buy into it. And look, I'm pretty sure this is the coin that Cupsy, I was showing y'all before about Cupsy, how he bought in and launched it. But look, when Cupsy sold, that shit had a crazy dip. Now, if you were smart, you wouldn't have bought before Cupsy. You probably are Cupsy. You would have bought in after Cupsy sold, because that made the dip go crazy. And then it would have went up. You would have sold your little profit, would have went back down, and right now it's on a down scale. And the way I like to read if it's on a down scale is I put it to a 1 minute chart. Alright, you see, it went up, now it's down. Now it looks like it's picking up a little bit, but we're looking for coins with a lot of volume. This doesn't look as shooting up crazy right now. It might shoot back up though. Let's look for, what the fuck is this? Beitai monkey? I don't really like how this is looking. I don't know. It looks okay. I don't really like how it consolidates right here. And it consolidates for a bit, so like it barely got any action, and someone just pumped it up crazy. Now let's say this person wants to sell whatever holdings right here. It's low-key dropping that shit, and he has two of the same tokens. Yeah, nah. It looks like basically a farm. Not really it. And you always gotta make sure these coins are good, you know what I mean? I'm not saying put into any migration coins, because not every coin that's on migrate is pumping up. Get what I'm saying? Let's see. Not really my type. I don't like how it's down to the floor right now. I mean, it's not down to the floor, but I don't really like how this is looking. It looked like it had a really high market cap, and it's just shot down to 50,000. Let's see what else is pumping. No data here. Alright, no seems low-key organic, you know what I mean? It's still up there. Let's say if no had a dip down to 120k, where the floor is over here. You feel me? Then I would maybe buy in right here at this little floor. And if it picks back up, I would have sold that little profit. You know what I mean? I keep saying you know what I mean. I love catching myself keep saying that. I need fucking help. But yeah, that's scalping really. I'm gonna show you guys another one. Like, look, I'll show you just a quick example. Look, all these people right here, right? They waited for this crazy floor dip right here. So they waited for this shit because it was at an all-time high right here. All right, is that it? Yeah, that was at an all-time high. They waited for a dip, crazy dip. Oh, look at this. Right here is where they probably would have bought in. Where it hit the line, they bought in. They bought and got pretty good, like pretty early. And as soon as they bought in right here, boom, 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 hits the floor, volume starts picking up, shoots up to the moon. Oh, look at that. And then it's sold up here probably for that. I mean, that's what I would have done. I would have sold that little profit. Now, look right here. Oh, dip. It dipped pretty down low. Then shit started to pick back up. Now, who knows? It might not go any higher, and that's not really crazy profits. That's only a little bit of profits, but still profit. You know what I mean? It's not like you're losing money. But if it picks up higher, that's great. People who put in right here, they're definitely up a little bit of money. Now, you might be asking, oh, how do you know where the floor is? How do you know? And the dev has, oh no, he only has one migration. How do you know where the floor is? How do you know whatever? Well, it all depends about reading the chart. You know what I mean? So we're reading the chart. All right. This is dipped, it picked up, okay, picked up right here. Now you see one of the big dips. So you gotta read the chart. You gotta look at it, look at the history. You know what I mean? You can't just always look at the front right here. So you look, all right. You see, right here, there was a crazy dip. This is where everybody started buying in and shot up. So this is basically like around where the floor is, or around where the support is of that launch right there. You know what I mean? So I'll drag this out right here. Go completely straight across. You drag it out to over here. Alright. Now we're looking at the chart. We're reading it. Alright. So next time it hits this little floor part, I might buy in. And that's the strategy. That's your rules that you gotta stick to. You know what I mean? Next time it hits this floor, I'm gonna buy in. And because how the chart's looking on these dips, it'll pick up, dip, pick up, dip, pick up, dip. Right here, you see it hit the floor, picked up. It's not bad. You know what I mean? Oh, look at this guy. He's pumping that shit. Ain't that crazy, right? OG, look at that. Pumping it crazy. Would have got in. Pretty good profit right there. And yeah, and what thing I use is that helps a lot is this RSI thing. I'm gonna show you that real quick. All you do is just search up RSI. It's the relative strength index. Now what it does is just shows this little chart down here, and it's basically an exact copy. Let me see if I can drag this up a little bit. Why the fuck? Come on, man. Come on. I know you get bigger. No, close it. Oh my god. There you go. Fuck. Bro, get me out this full screen shit, bitch. Thank you. Alright. So, my fault. So, the thing that shows, so you see where this little dip is? I'll show you right now. You see where this dip is? This is what the RSI works. So, the RSI kind of, you can't always rely on it because you got to read the chart, check if it still has volume and shit. But this little dip right here, you can see it on this chart right here. So, this is like the lowest where it's hit. And that's this little dip right here. Right, that's where it went under the chart. That means this would have been a really good buy, and then it's been up since here. You know what I mean? And it launched up. Same with this little dip over here, and same with this little dip over here, which is right here, and then the other one is right here. So it basically tells you where's the best dips to buy in on the thing. You know what I mean? When it has, but it's mainly with coin volume. You know what I mean? A coin, you don't want to do this really with new pairs that much. Mainly with coins that have a history, you could see, all right, dip there, you know what I mean? Pick back up after that, pick back up after that. Not a bad idea. Next time you see it go below the chart and hit, it might be a pretty good dip to buy in, you know what I mean? You could be up a couple percent. So, we'll move on to the next, right? We look, right here. All right, 50-50, this coin's been up for 4 minutes. It just migrated. Read the chart a little bit. Let's see, dev tokens. Yes, 415 migrated out of 60,000 though. It's pretty crazy. Bundlers not much. Dep already sold, which is not bad. Now who knows? It doesn't look it has as much volume as before. So personally, it's all up to you. You could probably trust it and be a slow cooker. You know what I mean? You could probably be like, it might launch, which it looks like it might. It's picking up a little bit in volume, but I wouldn't really. Maybe if I see more volume, once it hits right here, I'll probably buy in. And that's exactly how you guys might ask me, oh, how do you know? How do you know this is whatever, right? How do you know this is right here? Well, let's break it down, all right? We'll break it down good. All right, clearly this is like where this looks like where the resistance was at first. And this is like where the support was at first. Because it looks like it bounced off right here, right? See, this looks like the support where it started bouncing. And this looks like the resistance right here. Now, we just drag this along. So I don't know if you guys know the rules, but the way that works is the support's first, then it's the resistance, and then once it breaks the resistance line, this becomes a support, and the next resistance line is probably gonna be up here where the top is. You know what I mean? So if it doesn't break that, it's probably not gonna go any higher. But now, what I like to do is I like to wait until it dips back down to my second line, because this is not a bad buy. You know what I mean? I might buy in right here on this little dip, but it's not really up percentage. Let's say if it just shoots up to fucking 100K and I bought in at 80K, that's not really crazy much profit. You know what I mean? I would like to wait until see if it hits the next support that I had before. You know what I mean? The support that I had set up before. See if it hits this. I'll buy in right here, and usually it bounces back off of it if it's a good coin. If it has a lot of volume, it'll bounce back off the support and go back to here, or go, I don't know, go fucking somewhere around here or up here, and that'll put me up a little bit more money. Oh my god, still pretty early. Now, just check one more real quick. I already explained the concept to y'all, you know what I mean? 340, Cupsy's putting in this shit. Now, because Cupsy's in, I don't know if this is a good coin. But let's see, right? All right, right here is where I had that big launch. I say this is where I would want to buy in. This is my support where I think it's gonna bounce off. The way I got this is because right here you see the little cell, and then it shot up crazy from right here. So this is like, let's say if this was it, all right, I call this the resistance, and I call this part the support right here, and it clearly, oh, look at that, and it's about to hit the support line right here. Like I saw, I buy in right here. Oh look, that's what Cupsy did. He bought in right there, and I look at it probably pump back up from right here. If it doesn't, just the coin's probably shit. Coin's dying out though, so Cupsy's probably gonna sell and shit on everybody. But who knows? Oh, oh. We'll watch this real quick. So I just show you. See that happened in real time before I even saw the dip happen. Before I even saw anything, I figured out where I wanted to market, where I'm pretty sure the support is, where I think it's gonna bounce back up from, and whatever. But this coin's not really doing too good. The volume's dying out. That's why you can't always just look at the chart. You gotta look at the holders too. You saw the holders at 310, slowly going down. Not my groove, not my wave. Especially because Cupsy's in now. Because Cupsy's in and he's holding so much, he might sell and just shit on everybody's head. But who knows? This might pick back up. You know what I mean? Like the other one, you might put in at 20K and then it might pick back up and shoot through the roof. But I'll just be careful. You know what I mean? I'll be ready to pull out just in case of all these guys who have a lot of money in it pull out. All the Cupsy just sold. I don't know if he sold crazy amount though. Now people might buy in after he sold, or people are probably yeah. No bueno. You feel me? Now if the coin probably was a really good coin, it probably would have picked up in volume from right here. But the coin doesn't really seem like the best coin, so. And it was already made. I'm pretty sure I saw this coin a couple days ago, honestly. I swear I saw this coin a couple days ago. Or it wasn't Pop Bunk, it was just a pop, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it launched. Now, we're going to copy trading. Now, copy trading is really up to you. It's up to you, honestly. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's your decisions. If you want to copy trade in someone, it might be your losses if you copy a shitty trader. Now, the way that I say you can copy trade is this is how I do it. You know what I mean? One, if you go to my Discord server and you go to right here where it goes where is it? Jay's wallet tracker list. I have a whole list of the best trackers you can wallet track. It's a whole bunch of them. Goes down for days. I have developers in here and I have good traders. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Not every trader in this group is a good trader. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're having a month that's not good, or maybe some traders are on vacation or some shit. So some of them you might see aren't really making money, or aren't really active, or aren't really doing anything. But it's a whole bunch of them. You can go through the list. Now, what I did is I obviously had this list. I went through it. I took out the developers that I liked, right? The developers that are still like active making coins. I'll put them in a little group over here because the new feature on Axiom, you can separate them into groups. And I'll go through this. I'll go through the whole list. Let's see who's active and who's up. You know what I mean? Amazing Dev 15 days ago. Let's see if he's up. Max wise, he's up. You know what I mean? But that's because he's a developer. I mean, really. Let's check this guy. Alright, he's not really active. Let's check this guy, Blob. Alright, you know, Blob's on an uptrend. Oh, but he's on a downtrend. So I wouldn't grab him and move him to this group because this is my uptrend group. This is the group that's like making money, you know what I mean? So I want to keep my eyes out mainly on these guys who are in this group, not this group right here. Let's see this guy though. He's up. Is he up? Loading. Alright, not bad. Know what I mean? Past 30 days he's up, but it doesn't look like he's having a good week right now. But now let's go to my groups. Let's see people who are up. Scented. Let's see. See how he's up? So this is a guy that I like to track, and you can get him. He's in this wallet. He's in all these guys are all in here. All I did was just separate them from the group so I could see which ones are doing the best and which ones are making the most profit, so I can have my eye out mainly on these guys. You know what I mean? Now, copy trading is basically, if you guys don't know, is people track a whole bunch of wallets. They see people who are good traders and they just copy the exact trade they do. It's in the name, copy trading. You know what I mean? Just copy someone's trade. Now, it all depends on you and what you want to do. Sometimes copy trading is good, you know what I mean? But the downside, I'll say, to copy trading is Clearly, a lot of these guys know their wallets are being tracked. It's out there. You know what I mean? All of them know. Cupsy knows. Everybody knows. You know what I mean? So when they're buying a coin, sometimes it pumps after because so much people are buying into that coin because they see that this guy bought. You know what I mean? So like for example, let's say Sensei bought into a coin and he has 200 people copy trading his wallet. Okay. And he bought into a coin, and let's say out of those 200 people, 50 people saw him put into that trade, and they put into that trade. Now it'll go up and go up in market cap because those people put in money on that trade after he did, and what he would do is just sell his profit, basically sell on their head, which it's not like, all right, you know, it happens. Sometimes the traders do hold though; they don't always sell on your head, but it could happen, and because he put in so much into that trade, it'll probably sell crazy, and it'll just put you down a lot of money. So a copy trade method that I like to use, which is not really copy trading, I use them more for, I guess, like information, like I guess like inspiration. Like for example, I look at this guy right here, OG Ant. He bought into it went away. Let me pull it up. Let's say I look into this one right here, right? All right, I'll click on it and I'll read the coin first. You know what I mean? If you put in, I'll be like, all right, it's a pretty high volume coin. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem too bad, but I would have put it right now. It's pretty high. Right now it's a pretty high push. But like let's say if I see it back down to 500K, maybe buying. You know what I mean? So I just look at it. Basically just show. I don't know why I have such a stutter. It basically shows me like what coins are popping. Now it doesn't mean I automatically put into the trade. It doesn't mean that I automatically like the coin. You know what I mean? I'll do my own research on the coin. Make sure the coin still has value. Make sure the coin's still good. Make sure the bundlers is good. Make sure the insiders is good. The dev's not holding. I'll make sure all that's good first. And then if I do end up liking the coin, alright, maybe I'll put in two, same as him. But I wouldn't put in right after he bought. You know what I mean? It's not really the smartest move. Let's see what's next. Let's see, let's find. Let me pull up another guy right here. This guy, Cupsy, right? Alright, usually when Cupsy puts into coins, it's pumping. But first, let me do my little research. Alright, he has a little bit of migration. You know what I mean? 12 bundlers, not bad. Not much insiders. Let's check holders. 3%, 3%, 2%. You know what I mean? Not crazy amount they're holding. Look at the chart. Chart looks pretty organic. Alright, I look you fuck with the coin. You know what I mean? Volume's pretty high. It's pumping. Cupsy's buying in a lot though, so I'll be a little scared. You know what I mean? But if it hits down to, let's say it hits 12K, maybe I'll put in. So I'll keep this chart open, and I'll come back to it in a second. And that's really copy trading. Well, that's the way that I copy trade. A lot of people just copy trade by just putting in money right after like someone puts. It's really up to you. Like that's pretty sure Cupsy put into this one too right here. See? Nah, I wouldn't really put money into this. This doesn't really look the best. You know what I mean? It looks like Cupsy he put in, and it went up, and it just went back down to shit. So a lot of people probably would have saw Cupsy put in money, and they probably put in money right after him because like, oh, he's a good trader. He's up money. Let me copy what he's doing. They do that, and look, they're probably down profit because they put it after Cupsy, and shit just went to shit. So, like I said, if you do copy trade smart. Don't really copy the trade. You know what I mean? Just look at the coin they're doing, and if the coin does look good, if you do all your like rules and steps, and the coin is going up in volume, like I look, fuck with this coin, put in money. You know what I mean? Try it. But if you don't really like the coin yourself, and you haven't done your steps to see if the coin's actually a good coin, you shouldn't just copy someone's trade. That doesn't really work out that much. Sometimes it could, you know what I mean? Sometimes you could see some guy put in, like Cupsy put into some coin really early, and let's say like you've seen it on Twitter, and you saw, oh shit, that's why it's pumping early. You know what I mean? Alright, maybe that's a good reason why you should put into that coin. But if it's just because a good trader's putting into the coin, you shouldn't really just put in money, you know, throw it in. But those are really the three steps of like the three strategies of trading. You know what I mean? Three main strategies that people use. Now you can obviously all the details and extra stuff like the holders, the fucking bundlers, all that shit is extra steps that you have to add on to fucking make sure the coin's gonna shoot up. You know what I mean? That's up to you. You know, you could just be a person who looks at this coin, or wrong one. You could just be a person who looks at this coin right here and you're like, all right, doesn't seem too bad. Let me just put in money. You know what I mean? It might go up, but then you don't look at the fucking the chart. Dev's holding 35%. Why would you want to put into this coin? You know what I mean? He does have 88 migrations, but like No volume, barely. He has 35%. Like, I would stay away from this coin. And yeah, that's just really it. I just want to make a little quick video explaining like the three main strategies that people use. You know what I mean? One that I like to do is scalping. It's not bad. Um, and yeah, that's really it. I fuck with scalping. I'll do trenching here and there, but trenching is high risk, high reward, so it's all up to you. And yeah, have a good day, good night, whatever fuck it is for you guys. Just stay on that grind.